Hey, how we doing? I did a little video the other day about Copilot Notebooks, and I've been playing around quite a lot with them, and I thought I would share a few things, quirks, I guess, that I've kind of found out along the way. So the first one of those is that there are quick filters that show in the UI when you've added resources into your notebook. If you add in Word documents, PowerPoints, Office files, that kind of stuff, OneNote, then you'll see them filtered across the top of the UI, but just be aware, if you add in PDFs, they don't seem to be. They only show in kind of the big old main list of things. Speaking of adding content, when you add in OneNote notebooks, be aware that it is only OneNote pages that you can add. So the hierarchy in OneNote is that you have notebooks, then sections, then pages. It is only a page that you can add. Not really surprising, because that's similar to what you can do with Loop, where you can add in Loop pages, but you can't add in the entire Loop workspaces, but something to be aware of. The next one is when you add stuff by URL, it is a little bit fussy, picky. It does say, it is expected, it says in the tech docs that it has to be a supported file, but it also has to be inside your M365 environment. So if you paste a URL to a Word doc that's just out on the open web or a PDF, it won't include that. I don't know if it's actively checking or if it's doing some sort of URL parsing on that. The fourth one is, speaking of pages, I don't know if you know, but Loop, when you store stuff into your workspace, it's actually storing it into a thing called SharePoint Embedded Workspace. That is like a mini cut down version of SharePoint. You get all the fun stuff like recycle bin and document versioning and that kind of stuff if you want to, but it is only accessible through the application that created or has access to the SharePoint embedded space. You can't get into it like you can a normal SharePoint site. So in Loop, when you add a page, depending where you create it, sometimes you get a .loop file, but if you add them into a workspace, the workspace is a SharePoint embedded site. That is the same place that Copilot Notebooks is storing its information. So when you create a page inside a notebook, it goes into that SharePoint embedded site. Be aware that you can't find that inside Loop. So if you open Loop, you won't be able to see it in your kind of recent list of things that you have interacted with. If you take the URL and you go to it, then you can access it. And you can also, because it's Loop, you can embed that as a component into something else, but you can't get to it directly. And then the last one is, again, even though it's on SharePoint Embedded, be aware that there is no recycle bin support for stuff or pages that you delete out of a notebook. So I think this is just a UI quirk. The functionality will be there, but there is no UI to browse and view the recycle bin like there is in Loop. For a Loop native page, a Copilot Notebook page, you can't spot it and find it there. So anyway, just 5 things that I found while I've been messing around with it. Again, curious, has anyone been playing? Is it just me? Am I just kind of sad and weird and excited about this stuff? Let me know how you're finding it. I'll catch you next time. Bye.